recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hello, everybody, and it's time for some premium live event picks. I remembered not to call it a pay-per-view. Good job for me. Barry Horowitz, pat on the back for your host. I'm your host, Brent Piles, and with me, as always, is Mr. Armbar Abbott. He's one day hairier. Glenn, how are you?
That was impressive. You called it a premium live event.
I think I'm starting to come around to the idea, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not, though. But
I don't think I ever will. I'll always call it a pay-per-view.
I'm sure by the next premium live event, I'll be back to calling it pay-per-views. And with us is a man who is just a bachelor looking for a partner. He is a Magic Mayor. Magic Mayor, how you doing?
Oh man, you popped me with the little intro song there. Oh man, Magic Mayor is doing fantastic. I just got done off my shift at the Thunder from Down Under in Vegas. I flew in time just to, put on these clothes, take off my what were those things called, the bow tie, and I'm right here, just ready to do some Backlash picks for this premium live event because it's pretty lovely every day.
You didn't hear it here, but the thing was actually the dingo in the Thunder Down Under in Vegas. But you didn't hear that from me.
Oh yeah, that's a good dance.
It's lucky we can't see the bottom half.
Cowabunga, dude.
Glenn said we're lucky we can't see the bottom half. Yeah, there's nothing out there.
You don't want to know. He didn't have time to put his pants on. Okay?
This podcast is pants optional.
It is.
Yep. Like the shorts.
That's absolutely.
You better hope no one knocks at the door and I got to stand up to go answer it because we're all in for trouble.
That's okay. I'll avert my eyes. It'll be okay. So it's Backlash France. Apparently, because it's in France. That's pretty good, Glenn. He did that all without a musical instrument.
Thank you.
The tagline for this, I didn't even know they still did taglines for pay-per-views, but apparently it's nightmares do come true. Doesn't that sound fancy? I think it starts at like 12. What are you going to say, Glenn?
I suppose it's because Cody's the American Nightmare.
I guess, yeah. And his nightmare did come true by becoming the world undisputed champion. Sorry, I forgot what belt it was. I believe it starts at noon or 12:30 the mayor's time, 11:30 my time, I believe. Which I love a good afternoon wrestling show, so that makes me happy. We get 2 afternoon wrestling shows in the month of May because we'll also get the King of the Ring / Queen of the Ring show in Saudi Arabia at the end of the month on the 25th. So that'll be fun too. And then there's NXT right after that on the 26th. So
wow,
big month of wrestling here in the month of May. But yeah. So what did you guys think about the old WWE draft? Glenn, did you see any of the draft?
I did. It was a bit underwhelming. I loved how they did it and what they did, but the draft itself was a bit underwhelming. They hardly shuffled anybody.
I think they've put themselves into a corner where they feel like they have to do it every year.
Yeah.
I also think that people sometimes put way too much emphasis on it and get way too hyped about it. I think they really hype themselves up anticipating it's going to be this great big thing. It's just superstars moving from one show to another or not moving at all. So I think maybe all of us as wrestling fans maybe just need to just not be so excited about this draft thing because it's never exciting. You know
it's because they hype it up so much, though.
Well, it's wrestling, Glenn. They do that with everything.
Yeah.
Got a huge announcement.
I love the idea of the GMs in the war room and having this team of people around them that are organised and everything. It adds a little bit of legitimacy to it, but and then it gets to it and nothing really happens, apart from you get a few people up from NXT.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing about it. And I think maybe if they did the draft and maybe there was less picks and it was more about picking people from NXT to come up to the main roster as opposed to, because you're not really drafting anybody, you're just moving superstars around or not moving them around, because I think they only moved a few people back and forth. And the thing is, like, if you're good with where you're at, why even do this whole thing? Like I said, I guess they just paint themselves in the corner that they feel like they have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they really need to update the strategy on the draft and just do each show has its own draft picks from NXT, and each of them get like 5 draft picks from NXT. And if they want to choose, they can make trades to gain another draft pick or to trade someone to move up for where they draft. Kind of like, just like the NFL draft or any draft, but still leave their main rosters, because it's pointless and time consuming just to draft the same people back to the show for like 3 rounds straight. It kind of just is. And then just have them draft from NXT, each get 5 picks, 10 picks, whatever.
I think you make it a 10-pick draft. You do 5 on Raw and 5 on SmackDown. I think that would be, because I think doing 10 apiece would do too many, because then you would really bring. Sometimes they used to just influx them with so much NXT talent at once that they would just all get lost in the shuffle. And I think if you only bring up 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 at a time, that won't happen as much. The cool thing about the NXT picks was it was like people you wouldn't necessarily really expect, besides obviously Ilya, but like I don't think anybody saw Kiana James coming.
No, that was a surprise.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people. I'm not surprised by this. Or Glenn's not surprised by this. But I don't think a lot of people saw Blair Davenport getting drafted. I'm not surprised, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't see that happen.
Yes, especially people who don't watch NXT or watch NXT UK, who wouldn't know that much about her, because she's not really made a name for herself out of that.
Yeah, and I think Laura Valkyrie got drafted too, right?
Yeah, but that's the standard. The champions, both after losing the title, is moving up.
Now, did they? I think I missed it, but did they draft Braun Breaker separately from without Baron Corbin?
Yeah,
Corbin
went to SmackDown and Breaker's on Raw.
Wait, Corbin went to SmackDown and Breaker's on Raw?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did miss that portion, but that's interesting.
I think Baron Corbin was one of those picks that they do like not on TV, like the after the show picks or whatever.
I really would like Baron Corbin with Waller and Theory. I think those 3 would have great chemistry together.
They would. That might work out. That'd be a good little faction there. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Like that. He could sort of be their heater too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they run their mouth. You got him, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Another good pairing up, I don't know if you guys saw it, is that Kurt Angle said he'd be up for coming back and being the manager for what's his name?
Gable?
Well, Gable, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Gable's turning heel, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the best Angle was heel as well.
Well, that's true. No, I didn't ever think he was a great baby face ever. He's better as a heel. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, I mean, like I said, I didn't go into it thinking that the draft was going to be this big deal. I enjoyed some of the stuff. Like, I like that they have like legends come back and give out the picks. I think that makes it feel like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I also like the Carmelo, Cody Rhodes sort of interaction. I like when they bring somebody up from NXT. I like them to put them out there with somebody big right away. That way people will actually, take them seriously. Not that people wouldn't take Carmelo seriously anyway, but you know how sometimes people get called up from NXT and then it just doesn't work out for them. And I'm sure in this era, that's not going to be as much of a thing as in older eras when they used to change people's names, even though it's like, well, we've been watching him for 2 years on NXT. Why are you trying to make Adrian Neville Mighty Mouse now? You can't do that.
Yeah, that's right. At least they've stopped that.
Yeah, so that's good news.
And the other good thing was that they've drafted Ilya on the same brand as Gunther.
Ooh, oh, buddy.
So we're going to have some meat slapping down the line at some point.
Which, good God, if you have not seen the two matches that Ilya and then Walter had together, go watch them, because that is, I mean, wrap yourself in ice first because it hurts. But,
be prepared to watch them from behind your fingers.
yeah, it'll be like, it's like a horror movie, really, but it's
Yeah.
great. Fantastic horror movie.
Yeah, those have to be two of my all-time favorite matches. They're near perfection.
That is violence personified, those men wrestling each other right there. Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it now. It is time for us to make our Backlash picks. As of May 1st, the first day of May, when we were making these picks, there is only 5 matches. And so I will read them off as I know them. The first one we are going to talk about is going to be a tag team match. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are going to battle the New Bloodline. They're not called the New Bloodline. They're just called the Bloodline. But I thought I'd call them the New Bloodline because that's what I want to do. And it's my show, and I'll call them the New Bloodline if I want to. Versus the New Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and Toma Tonga. I'm going to let Glenn go first. Glenn, who do you think is going to win this one?
The Bloodline, I think. They've got the Toma Tonga and Solo. I think they need to make them look strong, and they can't have them lose in their first Premier live event outing.
You said Premier like the Premier League. I like that, Glenn. That was nice. I gotta agree with you, Glenn. I can't see any reason why Orton and Owens win this match, and maybe something happens between. I think they kind of tease some stuff between Orton and Owens at WrestleMania. Anyway, and maybe they further that and they get into some sort of feud, or maybe the Bloodline completely takes Owens out and he takes a little bit of time off, which I wouldn't be surprised by that either. But either way, I think the Bloodline's going to win. I just can't see any reason why they wouldn't. They just brought Toma in. There's no reason to have him take a loss yet. What do you think, man?
I 100% agree with both of you. You got to bring them in strong if you're going to build up this new faction that's eventually probably going to feud with original Bloodline, NWO Black and White and Wolfpack versus each other. You got to have a strong leader. You got to have strong support in each of those to make it happen. And you don't do that by having them. Well, I mean, if you lose to Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, it's not like you lost to Barry Horowitz and James Wolfe or
Aldo Montoya.
It's not, But I still think that they win through nefarious means. Maybe even if that is adding another member of the Bloodline, or maybe Jimmy comes back to help them win in dirty ways. I don't know, but either way, I beat
Jimmy up, so I don't think he's going to be down with that. But.
Yeah, but we've seen Roman beat Jimmy up, and he comes back to his doorstep like a beat dog.
I guess that's true.
So I mean, I guess it's still possible, but I still see someone coming in to help out the Bloodline win this match.
There's another Samoan kicking around as a free agent, isn't there, at the moment?
Nia Jax.
No,
I don't think she's a free agent.
No free agent.
Yeah. What's Toma Tonga's brothers up to nowadays? I wonder. I mean, I'm assuming I've heard Jacob Fatu was. I think
that was the one. Yeah, he was in MLW, and they.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some things saying that he's signed, but I see shit all the time that's bullshit. So that could all be bullshit too. But I would not be surprised.
No,
Wouldn't be surprised if we saw his uncle/father come to the ring.
Everybody better hide under the ring if that happens.
Yeah.
Everybody's in trouble. All right, let's go with it's a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. I'll go first. There's no way Bayley's gonna lose. Glenn, you think that French fans are going to sing to Bailey like English fans?
I bet they do. I bet there's some singing there, even if it's from English fans that have gone over there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they're over here singing in the crowd, it's Glenn's fucking lot that started it. You know it. My new favorite thing is to find Arsenal like fan chants that they chant about the players. Like they literally take different songs and then make them about the player. Like I think they have one about David Raya that's to the theme of the Macarena. Or it's the Y. I know it's the YMCA. I think it is. It's amazing.
That's R-A-Y-A.
Yeah, something like that. It's something like that.
The Saliba is tequila. La 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 Saliba.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love Saliba and I love tequila, so that goes great together.
We're meeting up in Philadelphia and getting tequila dances going.
Hell yeah! I don't remember who they play, but they do play in Philadelphia, don't they? Anyway, I'm sorry. So I think Bailey's going to win. Mayor, go ahead. I think I know.
Tiffany Stratton's winning. I don't know what you're talking about, Bailey.
He's going to lose.
Bailey. Who's the other person in there? It doesn't matter. It's Tiffany Stratton. She's coming home with the gold. She's winning it in France. She's going to go shopping over there and get some, premium couture outfits that only Tiffany Stratton can pull off in France. Bringing them back home along with the gold and Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time.
All right, man. I can't argue with that. I knew you were going to say that anyway. I should have just made you go last because I knew that was going to be the answer. Okay, Mayor. What if it comes down to a situation and another day and another time, another year maybe, Tiffany Stratton takes on Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moan, whatever. Who you picking in that one, buddy? Or is the world just going to blow up?
Time limit draw.
Okay, perfect. For you and the match. All right, Glenn, who are you going to pick in this triple threat match here?
Bailey's all day. It's Bailey all day. Hey, Bailey. Ooh. Ah.
It's got to be Bailey.
And I guess she's rid herself of, why can't I think of the group name?
Damage Control.
Damage Control after they got drafted to Raw, right?
Yeah, they're Becky's problem now, I guess.
Yeah, so she doesn't really have to worry about them interfering for the most part.
Especially when they've got a match against Bianca and Jade anyway.
That's a hell of a segue, Mary, because the next match we're going to talk about is for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And it's the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane taking on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Mary, you get to go first this time. Who are you taking?
Since we just set that one up on a T-ball stand and hit it out of the park, we're going to go. It's got to be Bianca and Jade. Like they can't have them lose here. It doesn't make sense. It's keep pushing them to the moon and keep pushing Jade to the moon. I mean, they called her. God, what did they call her in her little? You know how they come out with the video and they give like the entrance the most the most. I can't remember what they said, but I'm like, wow, they literally just called her basically like the greatest wrestler ever. Like she just surpassed every female wrestler ever after 3 matches or 2, whatever it's been.
I mean, not gonna lie, like physique wise, she's probably the best looking one that's ever been out there. I can't argue that. I mean, she's a Greek goddess.
There was a picture of her and Bianca walking down somewhere, and somebody had put the caption, "There's about 19 abs there."
They got more abs than Finn Balor. That's hard to do. Oh God, I'll have to go next. Glenn, who are you picking in this one?
I'm actually going to Kabuki Warriors. I think with shenanigans, the Kabuki Warriors will win this one. Level it up at 1 each. Then you get a decider at SummerSlam.
They still got Dakota Kai and Io, who will probably be there with them, probably end up getting involved. And maybe something happens between Cargill and Bianca, just kind of like riff them, and maybe that'll be like Jade's first feud. But I also like the idea of them winning the tag team championships and having like a nice run with them. The thing about this is like either one of these teams you could really use to elevate the women's tag team division if you did the right stuff with them. So
yeah.
I'm going to agree with the mayor. I'm going to go with Bianca and Jade Cargill. But this is really a toss-up. It could really go either way, but I'm going to agree with the mayor.
Now, they haven't set a separate set of belts for the women's tag belts. They still would have to technically defend against all three brands, or at least two. Yeah. Okay.
I hope they don't do that unless they start really working on women's tag teams, which they can't do in NXT anymore because they got rid of their women's tag division too. So, yeah, I really don't think now is the time to have to. I don't think that maybe having a card women's title, I don't know, that might be too soon. They need to do something because I just feel like sometimes you only get like one women's feud and it's only for a belt, and I feel like they could do more and get 2 or 3 feuds going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying it out in NXT. They added the new, the North American Women's Championship?
Yeah, yep. That's right. I'd forgotten about that.
It has not happened yet, but they're wrestling for it.
Yeah.
They're like at tournaments going on for it right now. I have not watched NXT in a couple of weeks, actually, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Besides whoop that trick, that's all I know. All right, so me and the mayor are taking the U.S. is taking Bianca and Jade, and England is taking the Kabuki Warriors. All right, now we got 2 matches left. They're the championship matches. The co-main event, what I'm going to say is the co-main event, it probably won't be, is going to be Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso.
I thought the mayor collapsed there for a minute.
No, that's a recliner. I leaned back too far and it started going with me.
Oops. All right, Glenn, you get to pick first in this one. Who you taking? This is the first premium live event, and I don't know how long, but there was no prospect of anybody cashing in.
Damian Priest, yeah. It's just too soon after the cash in for him to lose it. Bloodline will probably interfere and cause Jay to lose it.
Well, probably Judgment Day. If Bloodline interferes, that'd be really confusing.
Judgment Day, yeah.
Actually, you know what? That might work because it is
there's going to be a 1997 brawl.
Oh yeah, they're all going to hit the ring and start fighting each other. That's what's going to happen. It'll be like 97 all over again. I'm like, I've seen this before. Yeah, I think it's going to be Damian Priest too. Even though I wouldn't hate if Jey Uso won, I think it's going to be Priest. I'm sure Judgment Day will help him win. What do you think, Mayor?
I agree. It's got to be Damian Priest. You can't have him. I mean, I guess you did have Drew McIntyre lose the belt after 3 seconds, but that was with a cash in. You don't want to completely kill Damian Priest's run immediately. You're still trying to build another star. I don't think Jey Uso needs to win it here, so Damian Priest.
All right, so
Does it still count? Does it still count as a win if it's by DQ though? So if Jay wins it by DQ,
well, I mean, Priest would still be the champion.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, you're predicting that Damian Priest will leave with the championship?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I noted that you have picked Damian Priest to leave as champion, so that's what we got down.
Yeah, that's how I want it.
There we go.
Because Mary reminded me of Drew McIntyre as well. So
yeah, you know what? I think of that.
You could get involved.
You really could. I guess I would feel like maybe they're going to add a match to the show, and I was thinking maybe Drew versus Sheamus, but I think that's happening on Raw, isn't it?
Anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the last match is Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. I'm sure it'll be a heck of a match, but if I counted to 3 and everybody said who they thought was going to win, we'd all say Cody, right?
Yes.
Right.
Outside of a terrible injury and they call a change in the ring, there's probably not much chance that Cody loses here. Now, I did hear that he might actually be injured.
Well, from what I saw on Friday night on SmackDown, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he landed on his shoulder pretty bad. I mean, that separated shoulders, not something that you can wrestle with.
No,
Not typically.
the ref even checked on him.
Yeah, he came down awfully hard.
Hmm.
So there you go. Those are our Backlash picks. I think we all picked the same except for the mayor is a homer and picked Tiffany Stratton. The mayor's gonna lose this championship on Tiffany Stratton, and he wouldn't have it any other way, David.
You mean retain my championship and all my faith in the world in Tiffany Stratton.
We know you do, pal. We know you.
You'll be right one day.
Yeah, eventually she's gonna
She's
win.
got champion written all over her, so yeah, she'll be there one day.
I will go down with this ship.
She's got a lot of something written all over her, if you know what I mean, pal.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was our Backlash picks. We hope you enjoy. It's time for Glenn to go to bed. So, Glenn, who do you need to plug before you go to bed?
I'm booking the territory, doing the first and lasts of wrestling. Their little side projects. There's Gator Golf. And from being the elite, where they're not actually gator golfing anymore, they're doing all sorts of weird bar sports.
They're playing beer pong.
Yeah, beer pong is one of them. DDT Wrestling with DC and Doc. Of course, there's
The Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. That is on SJP World Media. Shut up.
That's me done.
What about you, Magic Mayor?
Well, if you want to watch Magic Mike 4, you can catch me and my good friend Chant. No, I'm kidding. You want to give a follow and recognize the man behind the plan of all of these podcasts. His name is Mr. Thomas Bryce. He has fantastic chops, and you can catch him on Thomas Bryce 2017.
You got it.
And Thomas Bryce 2020 on the Instagram. And right above Glenn's left ear, you'll see an orange button up there that says Sportswire Radio. You want to check that out, and you'll be able to find the old Sportinarium player and be able to listen along to any of the podcasts that is part of the Sportswire Radio group. And if you want to watch me eat food, fast food, food trucks, whatever it may be, you can catch me every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Twitter or the X at Mayor of Canton. And that's about it for me.
There you go, pal. Funny you said X. I saw some kids riding around in a giant truck. Like, you never seen one of those giant trucks that obviously people who like do farming use. They got like the two back wheels, they got four back wheels instead of just two back wheels. And they were literally playing X Gonna Give It To You really loud. And I just thought it was it was like, you ever heard somebody listen to music in their car, but it has no bass at all and it's just all treble?
Yeah.
X gonna give it to you.
And it was so weird. They look like fucking like farmers, and they were just blaring DMX. I was like, what the fuck is going on? That was in like the Twilight Zone.
I mean, DMX captured a lot of hearts.
I live in Nebraska. I've seen farmers doing a lot of things, but like bumping DMX is not one of them. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that to happen in 2024. I wasn't ready. Check out all the stuff we got going on. Of course, we have I don't know shit. The Lifetimes of Psycho said there'll be a new there's a new episode out right now if you're listening to this, because it's currently Sunday and that comes out on Friday. He'll be beating up more people in the World Wrestling Federation, and in the WF, his promos getting more nonsensical than they ever were in WCW or Memphis. I don't know if maybe he got hit over the head a few more times, and so he just started to make less sense, or if he just started caring less, or I don't know, one or the other. Maybe it's softball season.
It's just softball season.
Caring less.
Probably something like that. But yeah, check that out, and of course, check out Warring the Attitude. We're winding down to the end of 1997. We watched a Raw this week that had some bad wrestling matches, but a couple of good segments. So check that out too. And that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say. I've said it all. I'll say no more. Glenn, go ahead and say goodbye.
Au revoir.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.